you tell us the story of what happened earlier that was so frightening?
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Stacy.
We've recently become empty nesters and started a new phase of our life.
Adventure. So join us as we celebrate life by appreciating every adventure that we are blessed with. We have joined Harvest Host.
Okay, so Harvest Host we joined, and it is a collection of different types of agricultural entities that allow you to stay on their premises. There is no charge to do so. You pay a fee to join Harvest Host, and then the idea is that you partake and that you partake of whatever agricultural products that they are producing.
It's not just agriculture.
It is. Harvest. Harvest.
But also some like monuments and churches.
Yeah.
Harvest for the churches because they joined in.
What about the golf courses?
And the museums. And the
just-
alpacas.
The alpacas,
That's nature.
you don't pay. They spit on you. They're spitters.
You're losing it, Dad.
You ain't losing nothing.
It's getting light.
So back to Harvest Host. It's an enjoyable time and it's outside the box.
We are headed to our first night staying at a Harvest Host, and we are staying in Timmonsville, South Carolina at,
Cartersville Country Winery.
and the one downside is that it is raining, but that'll just make it another adventure. And Taylor and Eric have the R-Pod, and they are also staying there, and really good news, they're making dinner.
So Harvest Host is a network of wineries, breweries, distilleries, farms, and attractions that invite RVers to stay in over 3,303 plus stunning campsites. So the yearly membership is not very expensive, and it gives members unlimited access to stay overnight at any one of the Harvest Host locations all across the United States. All they ask is that you support their host by purchasing one of their local products with each stay. It is such a fantastic way to travel, and some of the Harvest Hosts even have electric and water.
So here's a story about Cartersville Country Winery. On May 3rd, they actually had a fire here. Lightning hit, and it took out their entire tasting room and destroyed pretty much everything. She said that it actually smelled like peach cobbler when the fire was happening because of all the peach wine. So they are currently rebuilding and have some temporary things in place. But if you're in this area in Timmonsville, South Carolina, I would encourage you to stop by because they have some great wine, and they also are just some great folks. All right, we are here with Cindy.
Okay, you guys, so we are a full operational farm and vineyard, and when we're not doing our muscadine wines, we're doing cotton and soybeans. We go 365 days of the year. The only day that we take off is Sunday. There's about 9 of us on hand full time. 6 of us are not family.
Oh.
But you'd never know it. We argue and carry on like we are blood related. We do not discriminate. So the way all this got started was about 13 years ago. Our owner and operator, Mr. Tom Langston, was getting ready to retire, and he was looking for a hobby. And he watched a video with a gentleman making wine in his garage, got it in his head that that's what he wanted to do. Got with his adopted son, Carlos, who is not a chemist or a scientist, but he is our wine master. The way he does it is he gets back there, he works his magic, he comes out with a cup like this, he sits it down in front of us, and he tells us to try it. And we try it, and he tweaks it off of whatever we tell him, and it has worked for us for the past 13 years. The reason we do the muscadine is because they are indigenous to the Carolinas. They grow wild, they love our heat source, they love our sandy soil. There's over 100 varieties of the muscadine. The varieties that we use are the Carloses, the Nobles, the Summits, and the Scuppernaughts. Wine is actually one of the oldest beverages known to mankind. you'll find wine mentioned in your Bibles and your history books before any other beverage is mentioned. Reason being is water at the time had a lot of impurities in it, a lot of bacteria, so it really wasn't safe to drink. So by the time they made wine out of it, even if it was a crude wine, it was a lot safer. Religion plays a big part in winemaking process. The process that we use to make wines today, monks actually perfected. So a lot of people think that wine originated in France or Italy, but the first vineyards ever found on record were actually found in Armenia. And the first bottle of white wine, or what could be considered a white wine, was actually found in King Tut's tomb.
Cindy did our wine tasting and she did a fantastic job. It was all muscadine wine, and with each wine she had a story to share with that particular wine. It was more than just a wine tasting, it was a whole experience.
Would you tell us a story of what happened earlier that was so frightening?
Well, we were cooking, and we all were in this back corner, and then all of a sudden we heard conk, and the whole front of the camper came up, and we all fell down, and we just sat there for a minute. We were thinking, and then Mom goes, "Did we hit my Jeep?" And turns out we didn't put down the stabilizers.
Good morning. We spent our first night at the Harvest Host. It was Cartersville Country Winery. It was a great night. We had a good sleep, and now we are ready to head out and find some more adventures. I thought it was good though. I liked the Harvest Host, and I wasn't sure how I would feel about it, but it was fantastic. And there's nothing like looking out your window and seeing wine, like seeing grapes growing, and just beautiful. The moon was out last night, so it was a good experience. It allowed us to be free.
Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe and click that like button. Also, check out our DIY projects on our YouTube channel, Be Free Benson DIY, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Be Free Benson.
Eric, a name?
We're all in this together.
Yeah, we're all in it together.